What's up, what's up? So in this video, in the next video in Trading A to Z, we're going to talk about support and resistance. They're I guess just jump right in. They're very psychological levels, just little invisible lines you can chart out on any chart, any time frame, and kind of find where things might bounce, where things might have trouble breaking through, and possible breakout plays. Well, first of all, this is how my whole strategy even got started. I started with support and resistance, which led to supply and demand, which ultimately led into the zones that I draw, which are two other videos that are coming out later. But support and resistance, it was an easy one to follow. It made sense. You didn't need an indicator for it. You would look on the chart where things, resistance is at the top, where it just could not break through. It really just struggled, and it bounced right back down, regardless of news, of anything else going on. Resistance. So this is a 4-hour chart, but again, any time frame. I find these probably a lot more on I want to say the smaller time frame. That's just because I know more later. Like usually on the higher time frames, you're probably digging more into like a supply and demand aspect. But just keep it simple. So right here, we just really struggled. That'd just be a resistance. We just couldn't break through that. We just couldn't at all. And then coming down here, like this level would be your support right here. We come all the way down here. I'm gonna grab right here. Actually, we're gonna go all the way over. So we didn't actually come down to it. Nothing's exact. But you can find these levels on any time frame, any chart. A lot of times they're intraday time frames. Like you could call this was just obviously resistance until it was broken. Because we just couldn't. We'd bounce there, bounce there, bounce there. I don't know if there's any other obvious ones right here. Where's the support at? I guess right here, if we just draw this yellow line right here, would be your support. Yeah, these are just wicks, but we got candle bodies all right there. So for a while, there was your support, there was your resistance. On a bigger wave, here's your support, here's your resistance. And some easy plays on this are the breakouts or the breakthroughs when it finally breaks, or oftentimes you hear somebody talk, or even I'll say it, a break and retest, which an example of why I took this line all the way over here, this was a resistance. You can see we broke up on top of it, and then we bounced on top of it. Sorry, forgot. Siri was just popping up. How I describe these, the best way I can describe these is think of it like levels in a building. You go up the stairs, what was your ceiling is now your floor. And if you go down the stairs, what was the floor is now the ceiling. So you can bounce back and forth, you can go up and down, however much exercise you want to get in that day. But this was the resistance, so we came up, we were on top of it now. Took the next flight of stairs down, so now we're underneath it. And then again, so we break above it, and we came back, we tested it from the top side, and take off. Now, right now, we're looking at 4 hour, we're looking at it really blown up, so that would take a long time. But even if this was a 1 minute time frame, you were just looking at this, hitting this resistance, we finally broke through, tested it from the top side, and took off, because that is now your floor. You can make a bunch of plays just off of this. People trade their whole strategy is just this. If you manage risk right, it can be a very effective strategy. Because you're looking for these breaks and retests, and then like let's say this is your resistance, it's pretty obvious. You're either shorting it here, or you're waiting for that break and retest, and you're buying it here, and you're just going to cut your losses as soon as it breaks. As far as, these aren't ironclad. These are 100% just a psychological level. This is everybody else drawing these same really simple lines on their chart. So no need to overthink it. You're just finding the bottom, you're finding the top of whatever time frame you're on, whatever span you're on. If you're scalping, you're looking at the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, and you're going to keep it relatively close to that. If you just go to my time frames video on that one, you're not looking at a long-term swing trade, looking at the 5 minute chart. So hopefully that video explains it. Next video is going to be about supply and demand, so we're going to get more into how that works. To kind of break it down, there's support and resistance, which I find a lot of retailers. If I had to say who brings that to the table, it's retailers. The supply and demand, I'd say, is more kind of like how banks would trade. It's a very Forex thing to trade, or very Forex style way of trading. And then there's my strategy, these zones that you guys have probably all seen me do, which is a whole other thing. So if you have any questions, anything about that below. I didn't want to make it super quick. I mean, there's not too much to overthink here, but I want to make sure I went in enough detail that this is a pretty obvious resistance right here, because we've just hit it before and we've bounced. So seeing this, we bounced, seeing it here again, you know, even pushing up there, we might hit it, we might not. We know that's going to be a trouble area. We finally did it again. Here we are again at that same resistance. Let's see. Oh, let's get into something intraday. Let's get down to a smaller time frame. I guess we're just on Tesla right now. This one just did a whole lot of trending. So if you're making an intraday trade, we're just going right off of this line. We slip through these all the time, by the way. But you can see right here, just even at this point, we're really building that resistance right here, just even at this level. Can we go any smaller? I think this is a different day, but man, I hate how it jumps around, to be honest. I wish it would just stick right where I was talking. We're going to go right. We're just going to call this one out. So each 5 minute candle, we kind of go here, we hold here, push up here again. Really, right here, we're just getting that resistance level right here. So things starting to peak out. Nothing's closing above that. And then as you re-enter this, you know, later on that day, here's where it closes again. So another reason why, if you found, this is just all intraday trades, we have this candle. So a previous pre-market low right here. A couple of them right here. So we know this could be your support level. We did break that, but we bounced here again. We stayed on top of it again. Kind of a fake out. Bounced there again. And so whatever, we'll call that the bottom. That's the support level right there. This was not very clear, but let's say you had the very clear and you have a resistance like this. So you bought down here at the low, you sold at the peak, bought down here at the low again, and you know it's probably time to sell right here, because we've just really built that resistance intraday, and you don't know if it's going to bounce here again and come down and give you another great entry down here for the intraday scalp. You don't know if it's going to break through. And if you're looking at these candles, you know, here's what you see next. It looks like you did your job. You did a good job. You bought here at the low, you sold at the peak. It was an intraday scalp. You made your money. So if that wasn't clear enough, guys, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you again in the next video for Trading A to Z playlist. It'll be supply and demand.